Stop trying to come into the country as much. Mexico isn't that bad, really.
Should babies in the womb be given due process before they're murdered through abortion?
I'm going to say no.
I don't think the border should be open at all. Like, that's a stupid idea. I think that was a dumb idea by Biden.
Is an abortion pills by mail shirt.
Doing good.
Good. I liked your sign and I wanted to ask you about it. So you're quoting the Constitution. This is a great quote that you have here from the Constitution. Would you say that it applies to everybody?
I don't know if I want to give an interview, really.
Okay, well, I just wanted to ask you about it. Yeah, so no person shall be deprived of life. So are you pro-life?
No. I'm pro-choice. I mean, pro-life for like people in general, like general humanity, yeah.
Okay.
But not in the political context, that's what you're trying to get at.
But you said you agreed with this, no one should be deprived life.
I mean, you're just kind of like mincing words for like what? Like some like try to be viral trend BS crap?
No, I'm trying to understand. So a baby in the womb is alive, right?
You don't have basic humanity. Like, look what's going on with ICE and all these raids. Like, don't lecture me about basic humanity. Like, I'm people who live in communities, going to work every day, feeling safe and feeling like they're part of this American society. So
what if babies in the womb feel like they're a part of society? Are they not a part of society?
No, I'm done. I said my piece.
Why? So you don't believe in the right to life?
Go try to be viral somewhere else.
You don't believe in the right to life?
Go try to be viral somewhere else. Okay?
You don't believe in the right to life?
Go try to be viral somewhere else. You can ask my friend Will here.
They don't believe in the right to life. They just put this on the sign and they don't know what it means. So that's great.
If you want, you can ask me. What's your question?
So this sign right here, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. Should babies in the womb be given due process before they're murdered through abortion?
I'm going to say no, simply because an embryo or a fetus is not a person.
What does fetus mean?
A fetus? Fetus is a developing body inside a pregnant person.
So it's Latin, it's a Latin word, and it means offspring. So if you have two human parents and you're a fetus inside of a human, wouldn't you be a human offspring?
There is a difference between a developing human offspring and a person. A person is something that transcends beyond biology. For example, a dead human body is not a person, yet it is still human tissue and human DNA.
I would say they're a person. If I was dead right now, I'd still be a person. I don't transform into something else. But babies in the womb are growing and alive, so...
Once you are dead, you do not have... you are not a person anymore. You no longer exist as a person.
Yeah, but you can't just dismember somebody's dead body. So, but a baby in the womb is alive.
Not because the body is a person. There are laws in place, not because the body is currently a person. It previously was a person. An embryo or a fetus is not a person, and it never was a person. It has the potential to become a person.
So when does somebody become a person?
When they are born, when they are separated from another body. If you are inside another body attached to it and cannot survive without it, you are not a person. A person is an autonomous, sentient being with awareness.
Babies in the womb have their own DNA, their own gender.
They're not autonomous. They are relying on another body to keep them alive.
Newborn babies rely on another body to keep them alive. Should we be able to kill newborn babies?
You can take a newborn baby and transport it to another person who can feed it. It is not...
So why don't we just do that? Why don't women just do that? Why don't they just give their babies up to a family who wants a baby?
That is a completely separate issue. You just asked about adoption, and we are talking about personhood.
Yeah, so babies in the womb that are 10 minutes before they're born, a baby that's 10 minutes, about to be born in 10 minutes. What's the difference between a baby 10 minutes before they're born and 10 minutes after they're born?
I'll answer that, but I'm going to answer your other question first about why we don't, what he said, take a baby out of the womb, put it in another baby's womb.
No, I didn't say that. I said, why don't we allow the woman to just give birth and then give the baby to somebody who wants a baby?
Do you know how many children
I've seen a lot of these.
out of foster care?
I've seen a lot of these. I'll let you talk if you promise to let me talk.
Absolutely.
Okay. Earlier he said you can take a womb, you can take a fetus out of a woman's womb and put it in another womb. You said, why don't we do that then? Our first answer to that question is because women aren't cattle. That's kind of the obvious answer. And then to your point about adoption, when babies are born, Republicans tear those systems down. Republicans tear down all these social systems that protect who we are as Americans. Everybody cares about the baby when it's in the womb, and they always say, oh, well, if you don't want it, just put it up for adoption. Have you ever seen a clip, or have you ever heard Donald Trump say that, like legislate and advocate for adoption reformation?
Yeah, right now he's actually doing this thing where he's gonna, if somebody has a baby, he's gonna set up a fund for that newborn baby, $1,000 into that fund. And he also said he's gonna give a $5,000 bonus to families that keep having children. So I think that that's very pro-baby. I think it's very pro-woman, pro-family.
No, $5,000 bonus in the bill.
Even
actually, the big beautiful bill,
even if
$1,000 for every newborn baby, and then you can put up to $5,000 into like a child savings account. Now,
isn't that positive?
Oh no, sure, fine. Like that's like a one tiny thing in this like terrible bill that's cutting Medicaid and taking away healthcare from people. But
who is he taking away healthcare from?
Medicaid, people on Medicaid who use Medicaid who are under the poverty line. That's who are going to lose healthcare access under Medicaid. Like, look it up. It's basic.
It's just not true.
I'm sorry if you're just like, scrolling on Instagram, finding your news, like whatever.
Yeah, well, you can't even say what life in the womb is. So a fetus is alive in the womb, right?
Not to my definition, not to the scientific consensus, to my knowledge.
So dead things don't grow. A baby is in my womb. Every single week that baby is getting bigger and bigger because they're alive and because they're growing. Why can't you admit that a fetus is alive?
It's just not true. I don't know what you want. We've had this conversation as a country for 30 years, and I think people should just have access to health care, which Republicans are taking away.
I agree, but abortion is not health care.
I feel like you're making life and non-alive too black and white. That tree is alive. People eat that.
But that tree is not a human being. That tree doesn't get the same rights as you or me.
What I'm saying is life is not just this absolute one take all thing. There's different stages of it. There's different aspects of it. The same way that trees are alive, dogs are alive. I assume in the next week you'll eat a hamburger, a steak, a chicken.
I'm vegan, but you wouldn't support the mass murder of dogs, would you?
No.
Because there's too many of them, or we don't want them?
No, I wouldn't support.
So why do you support the mass murder of babies in the womb because women don't want them?
I don't support the mass murder of babies in the womb. And what you're doing is you're manipulating what you assume that I believe.
I'm asking you a question. Are you okay with abortion?
I am okay with abortion.
So you're okay with nearly 250,000 black babies a year being killed in their mother's womb before they even get to take their first breath outside of the womb?
Yeah, so first of that, I thought the virtue signaling was a little unnecessary. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Asian.
You believe Black Lives Matter, right?
I believe every single life on this planet matters.
Yeah, but you believe black people in this country are kind of disenfranchised, don't get the same equal rights, or at least didn't in the past. Do you believe that?
Yes. Yeah,
so right now, we have a new definition of slavery, and it's the fact that black women are such a tiny percent of the American population, yet 39.5% of women that go in for an abortion are black. People that look like me are being ripped out of their womb. They're being deprived of life. And so if you say that you care about life, or your friend's sign here, no person shall be deprived of life. We know that babies in the womb are alive. 96% of secular embryologists and biologists agree that life begins at the moment of fertilization, when the sperm and the egg meet. That is a human being. You were once an embryo, you were once a fetus, and now you're an adult. And you deserve every right that you have now, you deserve every right that in the womb that you have now.
Okay. First, I'm not saying the statistic you said was wrong, but it seems a little extreme. I would like to see that statistic for myself before the 98%. It's a really high amount.
Yeah, it's the University of Chicago. It was a study done in 2019 out of the University of Chicago. You can go look at it. Secular embryologists, 96% of them came to this realization, like, yes, life begins at conception. Because that's the moment where a new human being has been created, a separate set of chromosomes, DNA that's never existed before and will never exist again. Nobody can be a clone of you. You will always only be the only version of yourself. And if your mom would have aborted you, you wouldn't have been here today.
That's true, obviously. I don't think a scientist would have said that life begins at conception, because that's traditionally religious thing.
No, that's just science. The statistic that I just told you proves that.
At conception,
conception and fertilization are the same thing.
I could maybe believe if the scientist that you're quoting in this University of Chicago study said that after or halfway during the first trimester, at the end of the first trimester, there's a life. But it's a little hard to believe that the scientist would say that there's life at conception, because conception, that tends to be a really huge Judeo-Christian and in hand and in play conservative pushing point is that life begins at conception, because the Bible says that. And I would love to use this time to talk
So
about.
the Bible does say that. A lot of people think that the Bible says life begins at first breath, but it does say that I formed you in your mother's womb before.
Well, the Bible also has an abortion in it, and the Bible says if a woman gets pregnant by another man that is not her husband, the priest can use holy water to make the baby drop out of her in the floor of the church.
Yeah, I don't really know if that's the greatest thing.
Yeah, and so I guess my biggest talking point.
But that doesn't change the fact that they're a baby in the womb, right?
To your credit, you haven't brought up any Judeo-Christian values, scripture, any of that. To your credit, but what we really see a lot of the conservative right doing is forcing their beliefs on other people and cherry picking this and that. And I know we're talking about abortion. I'll use my 10 seconds to talk about it too. The Bible is the most pro-immigration book in history, and to see these people like it's just crazy, like the cherry picking. And so
yeah, but illegal immigration, when there's a process. So one thing that I noticed, did you come in a car today? Did you drive here in a car?
I did.
Did you stand in line to pay for your parking ticket?
No.
Okay, well, I stood in line to pay for my parking ticket, and so did everybody else that was standing in line about to come to this protest. Why can't people who want to come to this country do exactly what they were doing in the parking lot? Stand in line, pay your way, and as soon as you get your ticket to come in, you are welcome to come here. I married an immigrant. He came here legally. It cost a lot of money, a lot of time we had to spend away from each other, but you know what? It was worth it because we respect this country. We want immigrants to come here, but we want them to come here the proper way.
Yeah, because it's not practical for everyone. Now I understand what you're saying.
Then that's too bad.
Okay. In a perfect world, the system would be great and people could do it rather promptly. Like we know people, it takes sometimes 10, 20 years. And also, like imagine you're a mother in a small Mexican village with. I used to do Uber. I'm in law school now. I used to do Uber. I was talking to somebody, she's from Mexico, she has grandmas, her grandma still lives there, she said she has cameras there. She said live in a small Mexican village, and every single day, 10 times a day, the cartel drives through with machine guns strapped to their chest. And now I understand that you're clearly an empathetic person. Imagine a mother there with her 2 kids, or a father. They would do anything to save their kids. If that means crossing the border and risking themselves getting in trouble and getting deported and getting caught or whatever it is. As a mother, I don't know if you're a mother, but as a mother, I assume any mother would do anything they could to get their children out of that situation where their life is in danger constantly.
Absolutely.
Constantly.
And I feel for people. I feel for people who want to come here. My husband came from a third world country. We don't understand what you don't understand what a third world country is like until you actually visit one.
I do. I'm a student of history. I understand third world countries all throughout human history.
We don't have slums here where people are literally pooping on the ground, are forced to sleep in dirt. We can't imagine something like that in America. But after going to India and experiencing that, going to countries that are in the middle of war, I have so much empathy. But because I am an American, I have more empathy and want to put my taxpayer dollars. I don't want any of my taxpayer dollars going to anyone else, but that's just part of being in this country. You have to. My taxpayer dollars should first be going toward people who actually live here, the veterans who lost limbs, put their lives in the line for this country so that we could be free. Not people who are coming in this country, skipping ahead of people like my husband who spent thousands of dollars to come here. Again, I mentioned we had to spend months apart. It was really hard, but it is possible. It is possible. And Rome wasn't built in a day. Sometimes it's going to take time. You don't get a free pass, and that is why I'm against illegal immigration.
Why not? Do you want to use your rights? They're scared of me.
Whatever y'all trying to do, we trying to do.
Well, we're trying to save babies, actually. Are you trying to save babies?
Oh, yes, ma'am. If they need saving now, you feel me?
They do need saving. 3,000 babies die almost every single day due to abortion.
What? That's crazy.
I know. Over the last 60 years, America has killed 63 million babies.
That's a big number, man.
Yeah. Well, you keep working on your selling.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks so
How would
much.
you like to support us today?
By giving you clout. What are you here for?
I'm here to make a difference.
What kind of difference?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? But this is the No Kings protest.
Yeah, fuck Trump.
Okay.
Donald Trump.
Okay, so you do know what you're here for.
Yeah.
But what else are you here for?
Just for the vibes, you know, there's good food, good music.
Vibes, okay.
Yeah.
What do you specifically not like about Donald Trump?
I don't like his ICE policies.
Like what?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not too educated. I'm not very into politics.
But you're here protesting. Who invited you here?
I saw online, so I just came.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you not like that ICE is doing?
I guess deporting immigrants.
Immigrants?
Yeah.
I thought they were deporting criminals.
I thought they were deporting immigrants.
Well, so the Trump administration is actually only deporting people who have committed crimes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And gang members from MS-13 and other known gang members who are on the terror watch list who came over during the Biden administration.
Yeah.
Would you maybe agree with that?
Yeah, I would. Definitely.
And so, you know...
I don't think the border should be open at all. Like, that's a stupid idea. I think that was a dumb idea by Biden to do that. And, yeah.
But still, F ICE?
Fuck some of it.
Which parts?
I don't know. Half of it.
Half of it, half of ICE. What are the other half doing that you don't like?
I'm not sure.
So you're not...
I'm not a political activist. I'm just me.
Are you illegal?
No, I'm a citizen.
You were born here?
Yeah.
Do you have family members who are from Mexico?
Yeah.
And then when did, your parents or grandparents come over?
Like in the early 2000s, I think.
Okay, are they legal?
Yeah, they're legal.
They did it the right way?
Yeah, they came illegally, but they became citizens.
They came here illegally, and you know that they're citizens now?
Yeah.
And then you were born here?
Yeah.
What do you have to tell to illegal immigrants who are wanting to avoid ICE, considering that your parents are legal immigrants and you are an American citizen?
Repeat that question?
What do you want to tell illegal immigrants, considering that your parents are legal immigrants and you're a citizen?
Stop trying to come into the country as much. Mexico isn't that bad, really. I think that it's it's a misconception that Mexico is actually insanely bad as they make it seem in the news.
Go make Mexico better.
I guess, yeah.
Every country can improve. Why don't? It's interesting. So people here are protesting deportations, but they're protesting because it's a country that they refuse to go back to, but they're all flying Mexican flags. How does that make sense?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with flying the Mexican flag at the end of the day.
But you don't go back to Mexico. You said not you, but the people who are protesting. They hate Trump. They hate ICE. They don't want to have people get deported. But these people are refusing to go back to Mexico, which they claim they love so much.
Can you repeat that?
So you see all these Mexican flags here? They claim obviously to love Mexico because it's a beautiful country.
So why won't they go back, right?
If they're not, if they're illegals.
So much? I don't know.
Right.
I wouldn't go to Mexico. I'd stay here.
So you like Mexico, but you wouldn't go?
I like Mexico to travel, but I wouldn't live there.
Why not?
I like United States more.
I thought you said Mexico wasn't that bad.
Mexico's not that bad, but I don't know. I just like United States more. I'm more a fan of the USA. I was born here. I don't have no connections to Mexico besides, I guess, in my blood. So
your grandparents?
My parents and my grandparents.
Xavier is here because he doesn't know why protesting ICE, but doesn't know what ICE is doing that's bad, but also agrees that we should be deporting illegals who have committed crimes.
Yeah, sure.
So it sounds like you're kind of a conservative?
Oh yeah, I'm a conservative, yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm a conservative.
So did you vote for Trump?
I didn't vote, but I wanted to vote for Trump. I couldn't.
Why couldn't you vote? What happened?
Democrat rally, right?
I know.
This is a Democrat rally.
I saw y'all had your Mexican flag. Could you tell me why you're flying it?
Oh, I'm just here to support my sister. Same thing everyone else.
Okay, what's the number one issue that you guys are upset about?
The bigot in the chair.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sweaty, hot.
Me too. I like you guys' outfits. What does this represent?
Well, this is actually, so I'm going to Pride after this. So this was originally my Pride outfit, but then I was like, wait, protest. Okay, I guess we're going to Pride protest in cosplay as well. So
okay,
this is Jinx from Arcane. It kind of fits too, because she's kind of like the oppressed side. She stands for everyone in the undercity, which is the lower class. So, you know what?
What's the worst thing Trump's done so far?
Let's see, where do I start? I think obviously, I feel like the top thing. Oh my god, wait. The whole thing with like immigration, I think, is probably like my biggest like ick, I guess, if you want to call it. I don't really know what to say. You know, everything that he's doing like financially with like the government funds, military funds, everyone. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm in latex right now.
Yeah, I get it. I'm in long sleeves, so it's pretty hot out here today. Well, yeah.
You look like that girl from that one Netflix.
Arcane?
Arcane, yeah.
You would be right.
Yeah.
That's her in the flesh. It's really her.
Yep.
Oh, yep. I mean, you can be whoever you want to be in the United States of America, just so long as you do the right thing and you believe in what is right to do.
Do the right thing, like come to America legally?
I mean, are you doing anything wrong? Really?
Yes. When you're breaking the law, coming into the country illegally, you're breaking the law.
Happy Pride Month.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is actually the definition of illegal immigration.
Yeah. So, should we be breaking the law? Even if we want to come here, shouldn't we just do it the legal way?
Things that you need to do.
I feel like there's a legal way of doing things and there is an illegal way of doing things. People that are here illegally, they came here for economic opportunities and they should just get in line like everybody else.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, what he's saying?
Sorry, I'm Venus. Venus, I need to get.
Yes, so.
Put her out, y'all. Simple question, put her out. Tapping out.
It's been 150 years. Before Donald Trump came along, the conservative icon, the conservative pariah was Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan passed the mass amnesty bill in 1987 that granted over 1 million immigrants their thing. I mean, their citizenship. It has just become a recent thing now where Donald Trump is using racist rhetoric or emboldening racist people as like he's like oil to their fire or to their match. He's just using it to get votes, and it's working, and people are so it doesn't make any sense because most of his base is Christian or Catholic, and for Catholics, most Catholics are Mexican here at least
big percentage of them. I'm a Catholic myself, but I will say to you, it's just not fair for all of these people to be coming in and cutting in line. All of the riots that have been happening, the bashing of police cars, the waving the Mexican flag. Why are you waving the Mexican flag in a country that you claim to hate but you don't want to leave? America is the only country where people who hate it here refuse to leave. If you think it's better somewhere else, you are welcome to go there. But you know what would happen if we were doing the same thing that people who support Mexico are doing at these riots? If we as Americans did that in Mexico, I'd probably get shot.
Okay, two things. First, the people waving Mexican flags, I think it's double folded. First, they're showing their Mexican heritage in that whether we want to admit it or not, whether conservatives want to admit it or not, Mexicans had a large part in building what America is. And it's not just Mexican immigrants that are at issue, it's immigrants from everywhere. And there's no arguing history on either side. And if anyone argues it, they don't know history, they don't know what they're talking about. America, more than any other country in the world, was built on immigrants. 100%. Nobody can argue that.
Settlers.
So, pardon?
Settlers are different than immigrants.
Also immigrants. Look at New York in the 1880s, whenever Irish were coming in, Germans were coming in. New York, the biggest city in America, and culture and reach-wise, probably the world, was built entirely by immigrants. Yeah. Texas was built by, like, Dallas is like 50% Mexican, and I would say, I don't know, it's a guess, maybe 10 to 15% are here without papers. That's America more than any other country in the world was built on immigration. And anybody watch this, we gotta go. I urge you.
Last question though, really quickly.
Read your Bible.
Why do people, are you a Christian?
Open your eyes. Hitler didn't take over Germany.
Why do people that are at these rallies have to burn and loot and riot? Why can't they just say, we're for Mexico? Don't touch it. I'll hold it.
Sorry.
Okay.
They don't have to do that. People like to join in on mob behavior sometimes. They're dickheads. The people that
You
are doing
condemn all the riots and stuff.
No, I don't condemn all the riots. I condemn all the dickheads that are doing this stuff because they make the 95% of people that aren't doing that look bad. In reality, in LA, when the Marines National Guard went there, 53 people were arrested, and that's all they arrested out of all the protests. In the same state, across the river, whatever, 56 people were arrested in San Francisco that same day. Donald Trump is using the riots in LA, the riots everywhere, as political propaganda. You're smarter than that.
It's
You're
not
better than that.
propaganda. People
Read the
are
Bible.
being assaulted.
No,
This woman just assaulted me here in Dallas. My partner just hit me. So get a job. We have jobs, idiot.
Oh my gosh, it was so satisfying to watch that.
Yeah, you like it when women get assaulted?
Well, if you're being ignorant.
Where the fucking police? Where are the police? I thought you wanted to defund them. I thought you wanted to defund them. No.
You don't just do that.
Hi, officer. I want to report multiple assaults. We were just assaulted over there while exercising our First Amendment right. We had people break our camera equipment. We had people throw water at us, which I believe is assault, right? When someone throws water at you.
Do you have your ID with you?
I do, yeah.
Can I borrow that?
We have everything on camera.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
And this is one of the women that assaulted us. There's other people over
This one
here.
over here as well.
Remember what I said? You push, right?
We got
that on camera. I hope so.
How's your day going?
pretty good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I don't even know where Noelle is. I tried to call her and I can't find her.
She probably went back to the car. I mean, I have my keys, but.
They might not have that on camera.
Incident. Ma'am, can you do me a favor? Can you go back over there?
I just want to hear what's going on. Okay.
I mean, she really did. Like, here, wait, can I have the camera? You saw both hands were on the mic, and she just literally just whoop into me with her megaphone, and I almost stumbled backwards. So, did you get all of it? Like all the water on the camera?
I got everything, and they broke this. They broke our or whatever the thing attached to the mic. They're just trying to come here for a better life, guys. They just want to come here for a better life.
They just love America, and they don't want to have any violence. They don't hate white people either.
No, they love them.
Lily,
Yes, ma'am.
what's a good phone number for you?
83.
Do you have a good email address?
Sure. @gmail.
And what happened?
Okay, so we were out there. We were talking to. There was a hot dog stand, and some people started yelling at her because they'd seen a video of her on social at Savannah, and then we started just talking to them, and then talking to the group who was standing in line. Correct? Yeah, who were standing in line. And then this woman with the pink thing on her head, she shows up with a megaphone. It's very loud, and so we're trying to get away from it, and we start getting things put in our face, and then all of a sudden she just like that to me, and I stumble backwards, and I catch myself. But then just everybody kind of converges, and then I don't know what happened with the camera, and then they started just pouring water on me, which I mean.
And her megaphone, I believe, was above a certain decibel that can cause ear damage, and that's not legal. And I'm sure she doesn't have a permit for this space for amplified sound.
Okay, so what happened after she pushed you and threw water?
Well, I don't know if it was her who threw water. I don't know who threw the water, but the group kind of converged and very much started yelling, and then a person with a wheelchair, a mobile wheelchair, walked up behind me, and I almost stumbled backwards, or rolled up behind me. I stumbled backwards onto it, and then they started cussing at me and accusing me of assaulting her, and I was like
Assaulting the person in the
wheelchair.
And then she threw a whole bottle of water on
She
me.
did, and then I was like, I didn't mean to back up. Will you accept my apology? And she said no. And I said, well, I tried. And then I kind of turned around, and more water came in from the top. And then again, another group just all started yelling at me and shoving me and stuff. So, yeah, It was very disorienting.
Did you put your hands on anyone?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay.
No. My hands are both on the mic, and we keep them on the mic to make
Did you
sure.
guys record everything that was happening?
Yeah.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I have a case number. I'll give you your ID back. Okay. A detective will contact you.
Thank
okay?
you. Thank you. Appreciate
Do you have
it.
any questions?
So far, no.
All right. Y'all be safe.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I think there needs to be more cops with standing over within there because that's where all the damage is happening.
Some in there.
Okay, well, we were being assaulted. We were assaulted 5 times, and literally nobody came over. Nobody came to help. So I just think that you guys can do a little bit better job of like keeping people safe because these things get really, really dangerous. We see what's happening in LA. We see what's happening in New York, and this was no different. So
let me explain something. As a supervisor, we're out of perimeter. We're not allowed to just go in there because there's too many of you guys. It's 8,000 people, 5,000 people. So the outer perimeter is where you see us at. That's why we're out here. But to send 2 or 3 cops in there, one of them gets mauled, we would never be able to get them out of there. Okay?
Yeah, but so, if one woman gets mauled, like what are you guys gonna do?
I understand, but a protest is a freedom of exercise your rights. I'm saying, so what you have to understand is when you come here, that's an exercise of your right of freedom that you have to come out here. You ask about the police. For police, we're not going to go inside there. We're going to stay on the outer perimeter. If somebody is hurt or need assistance, they can call us and ask us. But there's 8,000 people. We're not going to send 2 officers down off in there just to sit and watch, okay? What we're asking people to do is like you just said, when you come out here, act accordingly. Everybody follow the rules of the road. Be courteous. Respect one another. We don't have to like each other's views. We don't have to like each other. But we can respect one another and agree to disagree. But as far as us to keep law enforcement safe, we're on the outer perimeter, is what we've been taught, because if you get down in there, somebody takes one of our guns, or somebody takes our weapon, now they can use that against you. If we have to go in, we will go in an emergency only, but we're just not gonna sit inside of 8,000 people and risk getting hurt or risk somebody taking a weapon and using it on somebody else. So that's why you see us on the outer perimeters out here patrolling, and if somebody needs our assistance, they know we out here, they can come get us, or they can call 911. 911 will dispatch, and we'll go over there and figure out what's going on. That's how it works, okay? But as I was explaining to them, as she just said, how it works with an assault, okay? There are no bodily injuries. There are no bodily injuries right now. What we call bodily injuries, where you're bleeding, where we have to call paramedics, or you have to go to the hospital. With that being said, there's a process we have to go.
Yeah.
You got it on camera.
My property was broken.
Yeah, I understand, but that's still.
Is that something?
That they will deal with that all in the report, okay? She's gonna take the report, and then the detective will give you guys a call. You guys will have to come down, you'll give your statement, and that detective will investigate it from that incident, okay? He'll call them, he'll call you. Everybody will write a statement, he'll figure out what his evidence is. You say you have it on video, he'll take that video, and guess what? If he can find out the assault, we got the information, we got both parties' information. If he sees the assault, he'll file the case. If he doesn't, then he'll have to go to the drawing board and find what he can find, he or she, to get more information or more to file a case. And that's how it works. Now, if you guys were bleeding, it'd be something totally different. That's considered bodily injury, okay? But for us, we have a protocol that we have to follow. Those are the rules. I don't make them. We just have to follow them, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Good to meet you. Thank you. And thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
You saw what happened today. I want you guys, please support my channel, subscribe, click that red subscribe button, help us to keep coming out here to go against these fascists. These people are absolutely unhinged, insane. They don't care about women, they don't care about minorities, they're just here to cause problems. We came out here to ask simple questions today. Also, if you want to give a donation, go to givesendgo.com/savannahcraven. Help support Lily, Noelle, and I. Wow.